Election Commission is now in receipt of position statements from the Guam legislature as to why voters should or should not vote to legalize medicinal marijuana on Guam.
We received the GEC opinion, and we are of the opinion that this effort should still go forward, and so we are acting as if it is still going forward.
It was earlier this month when the GEC board voted to not place Bill 215, which lapsed into law on this year's general election ballot. Members deemed it as inorganic. Despite the GEC's actions, lawmakers are moving forward by submitting arguments as required of a legislative submission. Bill 215's main sponsors, Senator Tina Muñoz-Barnes and Senator Aline Yamashita, submitted a joint statement.
The position statement states that our families on our island should have the choice of medicinal marijuana if their doctor says that would help them, and that would help them deal with their chronic pain or die with dignity here on our island rather than going off island to get the kind of help that they need.
She further cites how minor patients will be allowed to use medical cannabis, but only under strict conditions, and how funding will be provided to public health to start the program with continued funding from the fees generated by licenses issued under the Act. Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr., however, disagrees.
Number two is that, we really didn't, the law does not put into place strong regulatory procedures to ensure that if we do have medical marijuana as approved here on Guam, that there's strict guidelines to be followed. Resources, 100,000 is required of public health to use. That's very little. We know that it's going to take much more than $100,000 to effectively regulate this.
Rodriguez was the only senator who voted against Bill 215 and was tasked to write the argument against the measure. And while they're at odds over the issue, both senators do agree on one area.
So we have to ensure that we have the pros and cons.
It's for us to hear both sides, to do more work on your own, to do more research on your own, to talk with everybody, and then make your decision. And so that's what the arguments are for.
Yamashita, meanwhile, says just as the GEC recommended, the committee will most likely bring the matter to the courts by seeking a declaratory judgment by way of a resolution once the law's main author, Senator Tina Muñoz-Barnes, returns from off island. But could that win over Rodriguez?
If it's in something that's brought to the courts for them to decide whether it is organic or not, that's one thing. But personally, I don't believe in legislative submission. I think that if we as policymakers, decision makers that are put here by the people should make those tough decisions.
It remains to be seen whether the GEC takes any action on the submittals, as GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan did not have any comment on the matter. The GEC does, however, meet Thursday, but the medicinal marijuana measure is not on the agenda. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.